Welcome, everybody. Let's take a look at the market daily chart here. Let's switch over to Dow Jones Transportation. We'll go through the charts today. Daily chart. Yeah, it was 3 big down days. Yesterday was green day. Today, another down day. Kind of just chopping sideways here. Dow Jones maybe trying to find a bottom. Hasn't found it yet. That still just looks huge to me. Boy, like I said yesterday, it's going to be kind of hard to stop this from this momentum. But, yep, today, big down day, 344 points to the downside. I don't know if that's points or dollars on the Dow Jones. I guess it's considered. Dollars. I don't know. Looks like points to me, but anyways. So big down day there. Let's go check out the Russell 2000. Big down day here. 61 points almost. Yep, pretty much following the Dow Jones Transportation. Russell and the DJT have been pretty much tracking each other for the last, about 4, 5, 6 days, trading days. Let's take a look. So that's down. Let me look at the daily chart here. Daily cycles. Yeah, this has, oh my gosh. I mean, this is just horrendous. I mean, this is failing way over here. Look at this. Sideways chop, bing bong, boom, gives it all up. And the cycle lows way over here. But this thing wakes. Yeah, that's just ugly. Russell 2000 looking really ugly. Money's rotated out of that. And I'm not sure it's going to make a recovery anytime soon, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at... I want to look at the Nike 225. We'll look at the futures to do that. What did it do today? Okay, had an okay day. So chop sideways, but yeah, today was an up day. The range is 25, 75. But still came all the way down here and just sitting sideways now. Trying to make a base, it looks like. Wow, just amazing, huge. I don't think I have a cycle established for this one, or maybe I do. It's been a while since I set up cycles on this, so I'm not sure they're still accurate. Yeah, the green one looks like it's kind of okay. This needs to be reworked, so I'm not putting a whole lot of faith in these cycles right now. But this is a monster just pullback, and yeah, an okay day. Let's take a look at we'll look at the NDX here real quick, the NASDAQ. Today looked very much like the rest of them, down day. Yep. Wow, just getting mashed. Okay. Let's look at what's going on with, I think it's J7. Yeah, there's the yen. What's the yen doing? Yeah, the yen had a down day too, big down day. Okay. So that's up there chopping sideways and kind of losing a little bit of steam. Let's look at the ZBs. Yeah, 30-year U.S. Treasury bond. Down also. Wow. Okay, we're going to see the same thing on the ZTs and the ZNs. ZT is the 2-year. Down. Not as bad, though, but still down. Okay. And then ZN, 10-year U.S. down also. Yep. Big time down. All right. I mean, everything is, see, sometimes everything is down, guys. Yeah, sometimes everything is down and money isn't really rotating. It's just kind of, if the market gets exhausted, all products start to get exhausted. Now, I'm not saying there hasn't been some rotation into some other products, which we'll hunt those down and figure out where that's at. But I'm telling you, man, the American economy is in for a world of hurt. And let me tell you something. What's going to happen to probably one of the scenarios going to happen to the Federal Reserve? They're going to try to cut rates, and it isn't going to work. I'm telling you right now. You watch what happens with the Federal Reserve. The pressure is going to be on for them, especially during the political season, to lower the lending rate, right? And everybody's go, "Woo, yes, yay, finally the lending rates come down. That solved all our problems." No, it's not going to. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go back to quantitative easing because they have no solution. They have no way out. And quantitative easing, if I know what that is, that's just dumping more money back in the market, back into the great, my internet's down. Internet just went down, so I can't really continue with the video. But just, I guess I'm just going to finish up with this. And yeah, we don't really need to look at the S&P 500. I'll look at it whenever the internet comes back up. It'll have to be in tomorrow's video. But yeah, the internet's been up and down here today. It's down again. But I think the Federal Reserve is just going to flat out run out of choices. I said this before. All the cuts are, you could raise interest rates or lower interest rates. It's not going to have any significant effect. Because that as a tool is extremely weak considering the rest of the economics in America. Okay, internet's back up. Woohoo! Yeah, it's extremely weak. You can't use that kind of tool when you have massive national debt. We have a $35 trillion national debt. You can cut rates all you want. It isn't going to solve any problems. It doesn't get rid of the national debt. And that's what's going to drown America, is that national debt. Because no one's talking about how to solve it. Okay? And to pay the interest alone is just absolutely massive. So the politicians aren't interested in talking about it. Even if you're a conservative, Donald Trump hasn't even addressed the national debt. He doesn't even want to talk about it. So nobody is willing to even talk about it, let alone come up with a solution. For America to solve that problem, it would be a massive change in the way we live our lives. I'm being serious. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I think people aren't going to willfully do that, because America's a great nation, and that's fine and all. But America is extremely gluttonous. It's a very gluttonous nation. We don't really use a lot of we're just, the reason I say that is because look at Americans. They have to have a new car like every other year, right? They go and lease a new car every other year. A lot of people live like this. They got to have their new cell phone, the new latest Apple or whatever, newest Android every year or every other year. This is just the way it is. Americans are very gluttonous, and they just don't even realize how bad it is. So that's not sustainable. So since Americans aren't going to give that up, they're not going to willfully do that. So they're going to be forced to do it. So that's what's coming. America will be forced to live at a much lower standard. The market, like I said before, is probably going to collapse quite a bit. I think conservatively 50%. It may even be more. And I think the US dollar will go below $70. And that's also, I believe, conservative. There's just no getting around that national debt's going to crush the United States. And when the Federal Reserve tries to cut this lending rate to try to, okay, we've met our goal. They haven't met their goals. They haven't met any goals, guys. They haven't met any goals whatsoever. It's all just, baloney. You give us a report that shows some goals been met, and, which can be, those reports are contrived. They look at this administration, reminds me of the Obama administration, because it's practically run by Obama and his billionaire buddies. They said that there's the employment's better. No, it's not. If you didn't watch Steve Forbes on Newsmax, okay, he talked about the reality of what really is going on. The job report is a lie, and this guy is a billionaire too, and he comes out and tells the truth. He says what the real truth about the job market is, that we've lost a bunch of full-time jobs, and we increased part-time jobs. That's not unemployment. This is what Obama did when he was in office for 8 years. He lied his ass off and said employment's good, but everybody knew otherwise because everybody was working part-time jobs. So they contrive the numbers and say, yep, employment's up, but what they really don't tell you is that's just part-time jobs that are up and full-time jobs are down. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Typical Obama bullshit, typical Obama tricks, and it's not going to work, and nobody's falling for it. And no matter how much they try to contrive stuff, America's in a world of hurt. And probably in this next decade, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know exactly when, okay, but that's what's going to happen. All right, so right now, getting back to the charts here, I don't think money's necessarily rotated anywhere right now. Okay, I'll look and dive into some other products to see if money's rotated, but I don't think it's really rotated much of anywhere. Okay, I just think that we have exhaustion going on. Let me take a look now at the S&P 500 since my internet's back. Okay, this was today right there, the 7th, right? And you can see it was it's a down day, a red day, just like the rest of the indices. Okay, and forget this little candlestick right here. That one is just, we're looking at futures, so the futures just started trading for tonight. So another down day. This is just Monstersville. And I said yesterday that, it's possible this SMI could just track along the bottom here and do one of these deals, and do kind of like this stuff if this gets really bad. And we never rebound at all. It looks like to me the stock market still has not found a bottom. And this may be a little while. Today is, tomorrow technically is supposed to be the approximate cycle low. So we'll keep an eye on this next few days. If it goes past, let's say the 11th, guys, Friday or past Monday, and the market's still going down, that is going to be bad. Okay, if we get a bounce kind of early next week, then we know that, okay, it's following typical cycles. But if it doesn't, then we know this market's in a world of hurt. So that's going to be very telling. Right now, if I had to guess, yeah, we might get some little bounce here. I don't think it's going to recover all the way back up here to 5,600. May do some kind of little bounce and then start to fail again. I think that's what's going to happen. And the reason I say that is because we now are deep. Look how deep we are. This is the daily chart. Look how deep that momentum is into the daily chart. Okay? It isn't like back here in the spring where it just dipped in there and came back up. Oh, no. We're way down here. So this momentum is much deeper. And it's not about price. It's about how deep momentum can go or how high it can go. And now it's very deep. So look over here. I mean, this was just a mild version of it. And it stayed down here for months. Look at this. Stayed down here for months. This is back in 2023. Okay. But this initial decline was nothing like we're getting now. Look at this decline way down here. Okay. But look how it stayed down. Look at the price. Price just kind of lagged and then fell even more, right? Eventually just it never really went anywhere and fell more. That's where I think we're headed. I think we're headed towards basically prices just going flat and continuing to slowly decline. Okay. I think right now looking at this is really bad. And, for me personally, I don't like using that kind of language. But I know the rest of the world does, so I just go along with it because people relate to that. To me, I just see opportunity to the downside. So I'll just call that bad because people can relate to that kind of language. So let's take a look at the weekly real quick here. And we're sitting at right 52.05, right at that line. What do you know? Amazing. Exactly where we're sitting at right now as futures are just opening up. I think 49.59 is going to happen. I think we're going to see this 50 points drop down here and hit this support. And this is also just beginning to look like it's going to give it up. So August bounce, I think it's going to be minimal. And we'll have to see how that plays out going into next week. All right, let's look at the intraday charts. Okay, let's switch over to those. So let me go over. We'll look at the 5-minute first and then the 15-minute and see what's happening. Let me turn the Get Us Plus indicator. Okay, the Get Us Plus indicator is already on. Okay, were there some trades here? Oh my goodness, were there ever some trades? Wow, and there's one that really clearly stands out. It's super obvious right here at 10:55. Look at that 5-minute chart. Once again, the Get Us Plus absolutely goes on a rampage and tells us when to make the trade. Look at this bad boy. Yoy, yoy, yoy. From 53.20 all the way down to, we'll even just be conservative here, to 52.20. Guess what? 100 points. 100-point trade. And at no time did you get out of the trade. Why would you? Look at this momentum. Negatory. Gabomski. Oh my goodness, it never even had a chance. Look at this. Once it went negative, it didn't reach the top. It didn't reach the top. It almost did reach top. It didn't reach the top. It never reached the top line. And that's all you need to know. I talk about this all the time. The SMI will give you all you need to know in these big market movements. You look at both momentum. Once you get the signal here on the Get Us Plus indicator, you just stay in the trade until it tells you otherwise. Okay, it doesn't reach up the top and momentum stayed negative. If it was positive, you'd just do the opposite. You'd be looking for things like this where it doesn't reach the bottom. You see how it didn't reach the bottom and the market went up? That's what you want. Okay, I'm back. When the internet went down, I had to go fiddle with the Discord stream because it doesn't automatically just pop back on. Love that. Yeah, 100 points here, which we know we just add 2 zeros to this. It's simple math. That's how you do it, okay? Whatever your points are, you just add 2 zeros and divide by 2. Okay? So 10,000 divided by 2 obviously is 5,000. And that is your dollars. That's how much money you would have made today in dollars for one E-mini contract. One E-mini. If you did a micro, guess what? It's the same exact numbers. Okay? You just take off 1 zero. It becomes $500. That's for one micro. Okay? E-mini, E-micro. Big money today, guys and gals. Huge money. Okay, Get Us Plus indicator, absolutely. And the plum little candlestick here, once again, tells you how to make the big bucks. Huge. Okay, let's go look at the 15-minute chart. Were there any signals on there? Because you always want to be looking at multiple charts. Okay, so this chart is okay, but the 5-minute chart's better, okay? Let's go look at the 1-hour chart. Okay, let me switch over to 1 hour here. I don't always show this, but I'm going to show it today. Look at this 1 hour. Look, 2 o'clock was forecasted for the cycle low. Bam, it came right down into the 2 o'clock and just kept on going. Look at this. There was a cycle low forecast for 3 a.m. Boom, right on the button. Was it 3 a.m.? What do you know? It's 2 a.m. Okay, we'll take it. It's within 1 hour. Okay, this is part of the membership. Okay, if you're a conservative person out there and you want a really good financial opinion, okay, I can't call it advice legally, but you know what I mean, opinion service, join. It's $7.99. You get live streaming charts. You see the trade of the day here was thousands of dollars for anybody with a decent size account. It was hundreds of dollars for small accounts. If you're someone on the left and you want to join, that's fine. You can join them. I can tell you no, just don't bring your leftist garbage on my server because your content's going to get deleted. And if it gets bad enough, I'm going to boot you. Okay. And that probably pretty much means that most people on the left aren't going to join. That's fine. I don't really care. Okay. I don't have respect for people on the left because of what they've done to America and what they've done in other nations as well. And I just say it and keep it straight. So I'm appealing to the conservative people. Come on and join. My server is a conservative environment. This is where conservatives can come. They can trade without being worried about bullying and bullcrap and leftist nonsense and all the garbage that goes on. You know what I saw the other day, speaking of that? Forbes has their own YouTube channel, and it leans conservative most of the time. And somebody got in there and complained and said Forbes was being they were being, what was the, I can't remember exactly what the word was, but they were basically leaning conservative, like it was obvious, and they were upset about it. I'm like, my goodness, you've got CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC. You got every news, 99% of the news stations and YouTube channels are total garbage left, and you're complaining about one that's right? Give me a friggin' break. Go cry to your mommy. Seriously. I swear, this is how the left is. If the whole world isn't bending over backwards for them, they're mad about it, you know? And if that doesn't work, they're going to use violence. They're going to burn stuff down like they did in the Northwest up in Washington and Oregon and all those places where they burned everything. You know, but the peaceful protesters in January 6th, oh no, they're political prisoners. They're political prisoners in prison for like how many years now? They didn't burn anything. Okay, and nobody was carrying any weapons, right? Nobody walked around with weapons. You can look at the footage. And I always contended to those people, that the peaceful protesters of January 6th, there was some vandalism. They did do some vandalism. Fine, charge them with vandalism. You know, there might have been some petty crimes up there where they spend 3 months in jail or 6 months in jail, but not 20 years and 30 years and all this crap that they pulled on these guys. So if Trump becomes president, he's going to let those people out. He's going to say, they're out. Yeah, he's going to give them a free pass. And they deserve it. So anyways, if you want to join the server, come on and join it. It's only $7.99 a month. And I honestly believe the membership is going to pay for itself if you're just patient. Okay, there's one more thing I want to look at. This is a little micro, or not a micro, sorry. So used to dealing with futures. This is a little penny stock. And I hardly ever trade stock. Okay, this is a little penny stock that I got on board with. And I had a few $100 laying around, and Schwab was giving me a hard time about moving my money out. I moved most of my money out of Schwab, but there was like $800 still sitting in Schwab that they were like really reluctant to let me withdraw it. It's like these people are such crude. And here's another, you know, I call them snob, and their activity is borderline criminal. Just the things they do. They're gonna, like I said before, they're gonna get sued. But anyway, back to this stock right here. This is a penny stock out of Israel. They're a biopharmaceutical company, and I think, guys, something's gonna happen with this stock. Okay, let's take a look at the daily chart. Look at this thing. Okay, I'm up $150 on this stock. I got 1,852 shares. I bought them super cheap the other day at 47.5 cents. And I'm up $150. Now, is it going to stay there? I have no idea. I view this as a really long-term investment. This is probably not something I'm just going to turn around, buy, and sell. Okay, it has a huge volume. And yeah, I'm sure they've diluted the crap out of their shares. A lot of these penny stock companies do that. But we'll see. Maybe they do a reverse split. But they were profitable. Their most recent quarter. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on this little penny stock because I think just maybe, kind of a long shot, maybe there's an opportunity here for this thing to make big bucks. Let's take a look. I'm going to look real quick at the monthly maximum chart. And this is the reason why this stock kind of has you can see they probably did a bunch of dilution here, right? They probably diluted a bunch of shares here. And this is how they're staying afloat, right? They probably back here in 2022, they started doing this massive dilution, which is typical penny stocks. But look at this. At one time, these guys were $400. They were into 400 to 300, kind of was their average for like years, from 2017 all the way through like whatever, 2022. Okay. They had this $300 average going on. Now, I have no idea whether they're going to reverse split. They may not. It may just stay penny stock for the rest of its existence. That's usually what happens. And they usually continue to fail all the way down into sub penny. They usually get below 1 penny. This company is profitable right now, so that's interesting because most penny stocks, 99% of penny stocks are not profitable, but this one turned a profit. So I'm just mentioning it because I view it as a long shot investment and not something as me just taking a quick scalp on something. Okay, it's so cheap and ridiculously inexpensive. I don't really care, right? If I lose a few $100, okay, I lose a few $100. But if it takes off, even if it just gets up to $50 or $30 or $20, it's gonna be a huge profit. So it looks like to me it's trying to make a base here. Yeah, here's the interesting thing. Going back to the daily chart on this little penny stock. Oh, look at this stock today. Look at this. This thing was green today. Nearly 10 cents. Now, why is that a big deal? Because everything was down today. Everything. Every indice you could think of was down. Treasuries were down. The Japanese yen was down. It looks like to me gold was even down. Everything was down. And yet here this little penny stock goes up 10 cents. So see, sometimes you have these stocks in the middle of all this bad stuff and they do well. And this stock, for some reason, I don't know, I just have this feeling, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I just wanted to mention that to everybody. I'm not trying to necessarily promote it. You know, I'm not saying jump on board, make me a bunch of money. A lot of people do that crap. I'm just mentioning it because I think, you know, I'm seeing this activity here. And I really went through and combed through a lot of the penny stocks the last few days because I knew I had a few $100 to spend and I wanted to spend it on something that at least had a chance of doing well. And this one kind of stood out. All right. I think that pretty much covers it. I talked about the membership. If you want to join, come on board. And we'll talk to everybody again tomorrow. All right. Bye.